You're so early. Yeah, our virtual divination appointment wasn't until a little later than this. But that's okay. The thing is, I didn't want to leave you in the waiting room. I didn't want you to think that I forgot about you. So, well, welcome. I am actually not finished preparing the space for us today. So, it's up to you whether you would like to go get a snack, take a bathroom break, whatever you have to do, or you can stick around with me and I can show you how I'm going to set everything up for our session today. You want to stick around? Okay. That's fine. I'll actually bring you a little closer so you can see it close up, okay? Ready? Alright. So I already prepared this nice, beautiful space for us. It's actually a blanket that depicts a beautiful Native American woman wearing a traditional Native American headdress. This blanket was actually made by a local Native American tribe. I thought it would be a beautiful background to work with for our session today. I also liked that it depicts many earthy colors such as browns, reds, blacks. But it also has some blue speckled in, especially around her eye, which I think is a perfect symbol for the type of communication that we're going to receive today through different divination tools and methods. So, although we're getting information in different ways, intuitively, using different tools, it also has the colors to keep us grounded while still receiving those messages. I am going to take a selenite wand and I'm going to place positive energy in this space. And I am also, because selenite is associated with the moon, and the moon is associated with intuition and insight, I'm going to ask we receive all the messages that are needed through our intuition today, through using these divination tools. Alright. So we're going to wave it to put positive energy in this space, and also to ask for intuition. For our intuition to guide us through this session today. Okay, I'm going to wave it over you. I'm going to wave it over me. Tools that we're going to use, which I will introduce to you in a bit. Okay, now our selenite can stay right at her crown. We're going to place numerous crystals around the space to protect it, but also to charge the area that we're going to be using today as well. I have quite a selection of crystals. We have some more selenite, but in a point, the rounded top. We have desert rose, we have rainbow fluorite, we have pink quartz. There's a little brown in it. We have labradorite, which has some unrefined piece on the back, and then a finished side as well. We have smoky quartz, we have malachite, some beautiful different shades of green and certain little patterns in it. We have a piece of chrysocolla, this looks like clear quartz, but it actually is apophyllite. Little pyramid of apophyllite. This is a little kite-shaped piece of tiger's eye. It probably looks dark to you, but there are bands of yellowy orange to it, which is what typical tiger's eye looks like. Let's see if we'll have any more. We have a whole bunch, but I don't think we're going to use all of them. I might just pick out a couple more. Let me see. I don't think we need another tiger's eye, so I think we'll get rid of that one. Let's see. Do you have a preference? Do any of them call out to you? Oh, really? That's fine. Let me see. I think we will go with, I think we need more of a grounding stone. We don't really have a grounding element here, so I would say either this one or this one. So either the obsidian or the Apache tear. Do you have a preference? Which one you'd like for us to display to protect us? Alright. You like both? Yeah, we can do that. We can have both. Alright. Now, before I place them around our space, I think that we should distinguish which stone should go in which corner of the room, in one of the cardinal directions. So, do you help us with this? I would like to use a pendulum. This pendulum has an amethyst at the bottom as the weighted piece. And then it has the 7 chakras from the crown to the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, to the solar plexus, to the sacral chakra, to the root. All here in alignment. And then at the very top, it has the 7 chakras again, but all bundled together as a whole. So I'm going to ask our pendulum which stone should go in which cardinal direction. Okay? Please show us which stone should go in the north. Which stone should go in the north? It said a no for that one. This one's a maybe. Which stone should go in the north? That's a no. That's a no. And that's a yes. Okay, thank you. So our chrysocolla is going to go in the north. So in this particular room, the cardinal directions are roughly as follows. So we have north this way, south this way, east this way towards our head, and then west this way towards Maine. So we're going to stick this chrysocolla per the pendulum in the north. So we're going to stick it right over here. Okay. Now we're going to ask our pendulum which stone should go in the south? Which stone should go in the south? It's a maybe. Which stone better serves us in the south? It's a no. Or maybe. Maybe. And that one's a yes. Okay. So, our pendulum has spoken. We will stick our desert rose in the south. So we will stick our desert rose right here. Now we're going to ask the pendulum again. We're going to ask what should be in the east. Which crystal should be in the east? Which crystal better serves us? Located in the east. Wait, is that malachite or is that stone? Smoky quartz. Okay, smoky quartz. Thank you. So our pendulum has spoken again. We are going to stick our piece of smoky quartz in the east. So we will stick it right inside, underneath our selenite. And finally, we are going to ask the pendulum, which crystal better serves us in the West? Which crystal better serves us located in the West? Okay, so it wants the malachite. So we're going to stick the malachite in the West. So I'm going to stick it right down here. It's a little out of sight, but that's okay. It's there. All the rest of our crystals, I think we're still going to use them. I'm going to place them roughly in a circle around us. I think a light should be up here. We can stick this right here. We can stick this here. This here. Patchy tear near the bottom. We can stick this near the bottom as well. Alright, so we made us a beautiful little safety circle. I'm going to use the pendulum again for us during our session, but for now we're going to set it aside. Excuse me, I have to shift myself. I'm a little uncomfortable. Okay. Next, what we are going to do, since we set up our space already, I'm going to prepare some of our materials for us today. So I already prepped a few of them, but I am not finished. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful wicker basket that is holding various letters of the alphabet and certain grammatical punctuation marks, things like that in here. We're going to use this later, so I'm going to dump it in our basket. Because we are going to use this later. So I'm going to stick this right over here for later use. We're also going to use these a bit later, so I'm going to stick them over here as well. I already wrote on these. I will explain what these are later. However, I need to fold them so that you can't read what's written on them. So I'm going to stick them in this bowler hat. Because we're going to pull out some of those papers for you later on. Okay? But first, I need to fold them. So I'm going to take one at a time, and we're going to fold them in half. And then we're going to fold them one more time. I did not do a beautiful job cutting them, but they're there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fold them in on themselves twice. How has your day been going so far? Well, that makes sense. Explains why you're here. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. Okay. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Well, I'm glad you're here. It's gonna do our best for you. Helping clear up any of that confusion for you. I know, indecision's tough. It's very tough. We never know which way to turn. Or at least it feels like we don't know which way to turn. And no worries too. While I'm prepping, I am keeping my eye on the clock to make sure that when your session was scheduled to start, we will begin, okay? So don't worry about that. I got it. I just didn't expect you to be so early. Which is fine. I'd rather you be early than late in most cases. So no worries at all. I also wrote on a couple of other slips of paper / cardstock. I'm going to use those as well. They say different things than what's written on these pieces of paper, but they'll each serve a purpose later for us, okay? I'm just going to put all of our tools on the table, all on our blanket for us, so that we can use them in their turn. But it's kind of nice that you get to see the preparation of everything, and you know that everything that's being done is kosher. Now, I have some words written on these cards as well. We're going to fold them so that you don't see what's written on them, and so that I don't see what's written on them either. And they're all different colors. And no, I don't know what's written on which color. That is a good question though. That's a legitimate concern. So we're going to fold these also. In half, and then in half again. We're going to fold them twice, just like we folded the other pieces of paper. I currently don't have anything to stick these in at the moment because I was going to use those in this hat first, and then I was going to dump them out and replace them with these for the next step in the process. However, since that hat is occupied for the moment, I'll just put these colorful pieces of paper aside after we're done folding them, so that I can switch them out when it's time. There were two. As you can tell by the fact that I can't cut, I also can't fold, so that's okay. Doesn't need to look pretty, just needs to be functional, so no worries. And you're right, they make different sounds. That's because some of them actually are more like index cards, cardstock type of paper, and then others are thinner pieces of paper. It's just what I had on hand. So they're a happy mix. No, the colors, I didn't match the colors to match what was written on the paper, partially because I don't want to know what's written on the papers. I don't want to remember what's written on the papers so that it doesn't influence the reading. But that's not a bad idea. Matching colors with the intentions on the paper. But like I said, I don't want to be influenced in any way. Although really, now that I think about it, if they were all the same color, it would make it easier to pick, but that's okay. That's okay. We can always look away when we select it, or at least I can look away when we select which paper we're going to pick, so we're not influenced by their color. Now, I'm going to collect them all. Now we have all our papers collected for later use. I'm going to stick them over here, facing away from me so I don't see the words. Next, I'm going to place this book. Yes, it's used to be by John Steinbeck, and that's John Steinbeck. I selected this for a specific reason. We're going to review this when it's time. Okay, so I'm going to place him on the side here, near our basket and most of our other tools. I'm also going to place two friends with us. They literally serve no purpose, really, except they're fun, fluffy little companions. I have no idea if one is an alpaca and one's a llama, if they're both llamas, if they're both alpacas. I did look it up before our session and I still can't determine which is which, so I'm just gonna say this is probably an alpaca. Our fuzzy friend here is probably an alpaca. Our not as fuzzy friend here is probably a llama. That's what I'm going with. And they're both dolled up in their own way. This one's a little more conservative. An 80s poof going on. A super fluffy tail. And this one is a lot more dressed up. Different colors. She's carrying various goods. They look like little eggs. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. She has these fancy ribbons coming off these knotted bits at the top where her ears are. So we have our presumably llama friend and our presumably alpaca friend. And for no reason at all, other than I wanted them to join us, I'm going to stick one friend here and the other friend here. Okay, now we have friends. Next, I am going to take out the decks that we're going to be using today, because I know you wanted to use some cards, so some tarot and some oracle cards. So I do have, this is the Shadowscapes Tarot. We're going to open it, we're going to pull the cards out so that they can be used during this session. Now, we're going to place these to the side because we're not going to use the cards right away. We're going to use them early on, but we're not going to use them right away, and we don't need the book either. We're just going to go wherever intuition takes us. And this next one is called the Enchanted Map, and the Enchanted Map is an oracle card deck. Take out the book and the cards. Now we're not going to use the book once again. We're just going to go by intuition. So we're going to put these to the side along with the Shadowscapes Tarot. Put that over there to the side. We have another tarot deck called the Good Tarot. This tarot deck is partially a tarot deck and partially an oracle card deck. It's an oracle card deck in the sense that it's not advised to use reversals like in normal tarot, although it's up to the reader whether or not they want to read reversals. So the cards upright versus reversed, that is an individual decision, but this deck was designed to be read upright. And also some of the names of the traditional tarot cards are different. So for instance, there's a card in the original tarot named Death, and in this deck it's called Transformation. Now I'm going to stick this deck along with our others to the side. I'm going to stick the book in the box. I'm going to close the box. I'm going to stick it to the side. Now, this is an oracle card deck called Life Purpose. This mainly shows different occupations more than anything, but you can read them as more than just saying what occupation you're looking for. Those cards, we're going to stick them to the side as well. And we are going to pull out the Universal Weight Tarot as well. So naturally this is a tarot deck. It has a book, a little booklet in it. But we're not going to use the booklet once again. We're just going to go by intuition. And here are the cards. I'm going to stick those to the side. We also have runes. For this one, I am going to use the book for the interpretations, primarily because this is a newer divination tool for me, and I don't want to give you the wrong information. So we can use our intuition, but because these are sigils, these are runes, they're shapes that mean different things, and I'm not familiar with them yet, we're going to use the book. I'm going to stick that to the side. Alright, look at that, right on time. Okay, now, to begin this session, I do want to have a bit of a disclaimer to tell you that you have the intuitive abilities already within you. I technically don't need to be here in a way. I don't really need to tell you what you already know. That's pretty much what I'm here for, is to tell you what you already know. But because us as human beings, we as human beings tend to have our judgment clouded by things, by fear maybe, or anxiety or anger or any stock emotions or indecisions, lack of trust in the universe and what it can provide for you, and in what you know yourself. It helps to use tools such as a pendulum, cards, crystals, etc., to help gain clarity. So I do want to let you know that. I also want to let you know if there's anything that I say that doesn't sound right to you, then feel at peace and just leave it be, okay? Maybe it's one of those things where I say something and it doesn't sound right to you right now, but then later down the line, you understand what it means. And you'll be like, oh yeah, that's why she said that. You know what I mean? So take it in stride. Take everything with a grain of salt. I'm fine with you being skeptical, because honestly, it's always good to question things, to have a healthy bit of skepticism, not to the point where you're closed-minded, but to the point where you are using your own intuition and your own brain for what feels right for you. Alright? Just so you know, just like when I told you when you first originally booked this session with me, this session, just like any session with me, is voluntary. So if you don't want to share certain information with me, if you don't want to say what your question is out loud, if you don't want to explain your confusion, where it lies, where it stems from, if you don't want to explain what you're thinking about each of the divination tools and what messages are coming out for you, if you don't want to share them with me, you don't have to. Okay? So if you don't want to tell me even why you're here, that's completely fine. Okay? I'm going to go by my intuition. I'm going to use the tools that I have to assist you the best way that I can. Okay? So please don't feel, even if I ask you questions, don't feel the need to answer them in a lot of detail if you don't want to. You have the right to answer something or not answer something as you wish. Okay? Just want to make that clear before we really get started. Okay. Now, we're going to ask our handy-dandy pendulum a yes or no question. So I want you, either out loud or in your head, to think of the reason you came here, the question that you have, especially if it is a yes or no question. We're going to start with that question, and we're going to delve deeper into its answer with the other divination tools at our disposal today. Alright? Do you have your question? I can give you a couple seconds, that's fine. Now, when you use a pendulum, the yes or no will be different depending on whoever is yielding the pendulum, whoever's holding it, whoever's energy is interacting with the pendulum. Okay. For me, it always is yes, it's like this, and no, it's like this, or no goes counterclockwise as well sometimes too. But you have your question in mind? Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to ask pendulum, is the answer to this person's question yes or no? Alright, thank you, pendulum. So our pendulum says yes. The answer to whatever your question was is a yes. So thank you, pendulum, for your assistance. I'm going to place the pendulum here to the west. Now, you do not have to tell me whether or not that feels right for you. Like I said, it is completely up to you how much information you wish to share with me. Okay? Now, we will move on to the card decks. So, we have a tarot deck that I'm going to use this original tarot deck. We're going to use this deck to look at the overall energies regarding that question that you asked. And you can ask multiple questions too. Don't feel like you can't. It's probably best if they're all related to maybe the same grand theme. However, whatever questions you feel guided to ask, please do ask. We are going to read reversals as well. So I'm going to split the deck. I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to put some upside down, some upside up. Oops, that one was running away. Okay, shuffle that. This one we're going to flip. We're going to take some more. We're going to flip. Flip. And we're going to shuffle. How long do you shuffle for? You actually shuffle for as long as it feels right for you. So whatever feels right is as long as you should shuffle for. Now, for this deck, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, knock on it, get rid of any negative energy that may have been on it, and now I'm going to place it this so that you can select which card sticks out to you. Okay, so instead of me picking the card for you in this, for this one, we're going to have you pick it out for yourself. So which card speaks to you? So I'm going to put my hands over them, and I want you to tell me to stop when you want me to, okay? We can put some down here, put some up here so they're a little more spaced. Space a little bit. This one? Okay. We will take this one. I'm going to keep it in the position you had it. Just see if it's upright or reversed. And that will be overall energy for this reading. Whatever questions that you asked, okay? So this is Page of Swords. So in here, what I noticed immediately is the color red. That's what sticks out to me in this card. So I would say whatever is going on right now, you have your feet firmly planted in the ground. It feels like you have the right idea. As you can tell, this young man, it looks like he's ready to move forward. It's just that he's looking backwards at the moment. So his feet are ready to go. His mind is thinking this way. But I noticed there are birds up here. And I think birds are, I don't know why, but I think that birds are kind of like messengers telling us that the divine's there for us. So I feel like whatever you're questioning, whatever you're uncertain about, I think you're in the right direction, but you're getting told by Spirit that there's something you need to take care of back there, maybe in your past. It could be the recent past. It doesn't have to be childhood or anything that far back, but there's something that you have to finish or notice before you can move forward. So there's something mentally, because swords usually represent the mental body, mental plane. So there's something in your head that you kind of need to get straight before you can move forward. However, the direction you're going what you're thinking about doing is grounded in reality. It can happen. I'm also noticing the green grass below, which reminds me of the heart chakra, so it's kind of saying, you know, you have to be in love with what you're doing, really. And also, he's wearing a lot of yellow, which is very solar plexus chakra. So I feel like you need to be confident in what you're about to do, but to get the confidence and whatever information you need to know, you kind of need, notice he has the clouds right there. It's almost like you need to get your head out of the clouds, because your dream can be firmly rooted in reality. Because your idea, whatever idea that you're wielding, whatever idea you have, is good. It's a good one. Whatever it is a good one. You are firmly planted in the ground. The idea is firmly planted in the ground. It's just, there's that indecision here. Something that you need to clear away. That Spirit wants you to notice. You need to clear away before you can move forward. But the idea, whatever it is that you're thinking about, is good. So I think our overall energy is positive. I think it's pretty much just saying there needs to be a little clearing up before we can move forward, but what you're asking about is a good idea. Okay, whatever it is, it's a good idea. So don't be discouraged because you have to look back. Just because you have to look back and fix something doesn't mean it's going to take forever to fix, okay? Swords, they can cut very quickly, can't they? So I feel like this is a very quick, we're just going to clear this away, fix this, get our confidence back, our feet firmly planted on the ground, and we're going to move forward with this idea, with the divine's intervention and help along the way, okay? So that is your overall energy for your question or questions. We're going to stick that card right up here. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to select different decks to represent different aspects of your question, okay? So this is your overall energy, and for this, we're going to 1, 2, 3, clear it. I'm going to stick this deck here. For this deck, 1, 2, 3, clear it. Stick it here. For this deck, we're gonna 1, 2, 3, clear it. Stick it here. And for this deck, we are going to 1, 2, 3, clear it, and we're gonna stick it here. Now, we're going to do a typical 3-card spread, but we're going to be using these 3 decks in which to grab those cards. We have our overall energy up top, and then I feel like since this deck is based off different professions, it would be good to use for giving you next steps / clarifying what you're asking, because sometimes we ask questions but we're a little confused where to go with it, or even sometimes we're just confused what to ask. So I feel like this can help make whatever you're asking about a little more tangible, okay? So tangible, past, present, future, okay? So this will be your recent past, okay? Your most recent past. We are going to shuffle. I'm going to split the deck. Some of these are going to be reversed, some are not. We're going to shuffle again. We're going to split the deck. Flip. And they're all mixed up and ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out one card from each of the decks to represent the past, the present, and the future. and our tangible deck, and then I will explain as we go, okay? So, this one wanted to come out. This is the card Rock Bottom, number 10. Upright. Okay? That's your first card for the recent past. Now, this is a tarot deck, and we're going to use this deck to represent your present situation. Regardless of the questions you ask, we're going to use this one for the present situation, okay? We are going to use reversals for this as well, so we're going to flip it. I'm going to shuffle some more. I know if you think for a divination card reader, I would know how to shuffle, but I don't. So please bear with me. We're going to shuffle the best we can and hope for the best. The card that's meant for you will always come out. And don't second guess it. Whatever comes out, and that's it. This one comes out, boom. That's your next one. This is for your present. This is the Four of Swords in reverse. Now on to the immediate future, so very soon to happen future. This deck is the one that the creator originally did not intend it to be read in reversals, so we're not going to reverse it. I know some people think when it's reversed that that's a bad thing. There are actually some tarot cards that are harder to swallow. The messages are harder to swallow when they're upright. So it's better when they're reversed sometimes. So please don't panic that you have any reversals. Don't worry about it. Like, for instance, look, Rock Bottom doesn't look like a fun card, does it? If it was reversed, it'd probably feel a little better. All that we're doing right now with all these divination tools, energy constantly ebbs and flows, so please don't feel that you're stuck with this energy, because you can always release it. Energy can always move and always shift. This is what's happening energetically right now. It's not, or in the past, present, future. This is not a forever type of energy, okay? So any messages we get, it's not forever. Even success doesn't last forever, you know? And that's not to panic you, it's just a reality. This one wants to come out, so we're gonna we'll take this bubble out. And that is 2 of Earth. Now our last deck, least of cards. We are going to use other divinations tools as I showed you before. We did prep them. For this, I wouldn't say to use this as reversals either, just because there are a lot of occupations. I guess it could be warning you away from that type of occupation, but I think we're just gonna stick with upright. Okay, this one is calling me. And that one is spiritual teacher. Alright, so let us start with your past. Now, your most recent past, we have the card Rock Bottom, number 10. Now, I know this card seems scary considering it says rock bottom and it's showing this really deep hole with broken up ground, and it looks very steep and scary, and all paths seem to lead down. However, the number 10 means completion. It means the end of something. Something ended. So I feel like you felt like you were in there, or at the very least you were sliding towards it. You were getting pushed towards this rock bottom stage where you felt so lost and overwhelmed. I feel like you were looking up from the bottom and feeling super overwhelmed that these walls look so formidable. There's no way you can get out. The walls are going to crumble on you, that kind of thing. You just felt terrible, and I'm sorry for that. But the good thing is, like I said, number 10 is completion. So you hit rock bottom, okay? Maybe it was just an emotional rock bottom. It just felt overwhelming. It just felt terrible. But guess what? It's ending now. This is ending. This is something in your life ended. So something else could begin. You have to get, it's like matter, right? This card is taking up space. My hand can't take up the space that the card is taking up unless the card moves. So it has to end for something else to take its place, okay? So it's like that. So although you felt like you were at rock bottom, maybe a project ended for you or something just didn't go your way, and you felt so, I feel a lot of overwhelm from this card. I feel like you were feeling really overwhelmed and frustrated, like you were going down this path thinking, yeah, success, okay, and boom, you fell in a hole, and now you're like, what the heck am I supposed to do? It feels super overwhelming and scary, and I totally get that. So no worries. That was your recent past. Something ended for you. It felt really scary and awful, and felt like frustrating, like you followed a path that was supposed to lead to success and the rug was pulled out from under you. Okay? So that's your recent past. This is your present. Now, this card is the Four of Swords in reverse. There wasn't as much love in what you were doing, whatever it was that you were doing before. So whatever caused this rock bottom for you, whatever project ended, I feel like it felt like you put in a lot of work to get it done. However, and it looks like this person's holding on to something jealously, you know, kind of keeping hold of it as if it's going to be taken away. But I think because it's reversed, you're not holding on to that thought anymore. So I almost feel like the thought that caused this ended. So you're not holding on to this anymore. I think when you hold it this way, it looks like all of these flowers are falling down to the ground. But when you flip it like this, it looks almost like they're going up. That's how they look like to me for some reason. I feel like they're going up. Or even if they're, as if they're like lying on the ground. They're stabilizing. It's like you're starting to fix your confidence. You're starting to feel more confident slowly. I still feel like there's some darkness because the colors get dark over here. There's a little bit of confusion still going on, which could explain this session, why you came here in the first place. But once again, you don't have to tell me. But I feel like now you're more willing to kind of think with your heart versus your head. So it's almost like you flipped your perspective so that you're not thinking so much with your head and you're not stuck to one idea. You're not holding on to that one idea. You're more willing to kind of let the flow happen. This looks very flowy to me. So I feel like you're letting the flow happen. It's beginning. Healing is happening. The new start, I feel like, is going to come from you being more willing and open and more willing to look at the beauty going on in the world around you, kind of flowing with it and not holding on to just one thing. You don't feel like it has to be this way. you don't pigeonhole yourself like that. I think you're at this point now where you can kind of move forward with it, and you're willing to go with the flow of life wherever it takes you, wherever this project takes you, this idea takes you, but you're willing to grab one of those other swords, one of those other thoughts. It's almost like this is from the divine, like there's something helping you figure out that there isn't just one way to get something done, and that you can, when you go with the flow, beautiful things can happen. So I feel like you're in a more open state right now in your mental body, and you're opening up your heart as you go, which is beautiful. That's hard to do when rock bottom happened. Now, your immediate future, when I say immediate, I mean more short-term future, maybe a couple weeks from now, maybe even a couple months from now, but I wouldn't say a couple of years or anything like that. Now you have the Two of Earth. We just had 2 cards with swords. The overall energy was swords, right? And your present moment is swords too, so you're still in that mental body. Now, having thoughts is not a bad thing. Being smart and thinking things through isn't a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is now you're going into the energy of Earth. Now, Earth usually represents abundance and prosperity, stability. And this woman here is looking at this, what's called a pentacle. So Earth in the tarot is usually represented by pentacles or these kind of large coins. She's holding 2 in her hand. So you, in the immediate future, are going to have options, okay? However, because you're going to, you're following more your heart, you're following more that guidance, that intuition, you're being more open and willing to do that after the pain and suffering that you endured. And because of that, and because you opened yourself up to those answers, you are going to have 2 beautiful, prosperous options in front of you. It doesn't matter which one you choose, you will prosper either way. But you are going to pick the choice that's best for you. You are going to pick the most prosperous, abundant choice. Notice how she's holding this pentacle quite significantly lower than this pentacle. So we have this one and then this one. This one that she neglected is actually roughly at her head, if you see. So it's almost like maybe that thought that you had originally maybe been holding on to that didn't work out is now an option. And like we saw before, it's a grounded option, but to actually move forward more and to be more prosperous, you're gonna have another option. And look at her, she very decisively picks this one, and notice the flow of her dress is flowing in that direction. So it's just like you are kind of going with the flow now. You're trying to open yourself up to intuition and what you think is right and best for you, and she's flowing right towards what's best for her, which really is you. So you are going to have those options. They're both going to be prosperous, but one is definitely higher than the other and will grant you beautiful abundance. There's even like a little angel smiling at the top here. So you're being protected to pick the right choice. You're going to be confident and guided to that best choice. So please don't worry. I understand when the pain happens, when these endings happen, it's hard to imagine that this can happen. But guess what? Because you're letting it happen, it's going to happen. Okay. Keep in mind it is energy. All of this is energy. So if you decide to change your mind about something, if you decide, oh no, I want to hold on to that thought, then it's still going to happen because it's in the cards for you, right? But it might be delayed. But so if you want this to happen for you sooner, stay in this flow, okay? Success will be yours, whatever that means for you, okay? That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, so that was your past, your present, and your future. And now, we are going to look at the more tangible aspect, which is this, which is so very fitting. This one is spiritual teacher says, you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. Now, this is a beautiful angel who has the colors of green and purple that she's wearing. So she's wearing kind of like the heart chakra and the crown chakra, or even the third eye. She has yellow in her wings, solar plexus. She has blue, the throat, or your intuition, your third eye, around her wings. She has the symbols of different religions and beliefs surrounding her. The spiritual teacher. Now, this card could mean several things, but I think in relation to all the other energies that we saw, this card is saying that it could literally mean that your thought is, should I be a spiritual teacher? Should I try to do divination? Should I give classes for Reiki, for massage? Should I try any form of healing, counseling, anything like that? This card, if that's your case, is confirmation for you that yes, that higher option is in the higher realms, is in spiritually teaching people, or it could be even just regular teaching, but keeping your heart open to the flow, keeping spirituality important to you. I feel like this is saying that spirituality and learning is very important for you, and that you have the capabilities to be an amazing teacher. So whatever that means for you, you don't have to actually teach even as a profession, but be willing to speak to other people about your knowledge, your expertise, what you're learning about. Always be open to perpetual learning. When I see the green, it kind of reminds me of academics as well. Always be a student. Always be a student, and always be a teacher too. It's just like when you're in school and they tell you to teach your peers about something and you're like, ugh, why? I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, the reason you're asked to do that is because when you start talking about a topic, when you start teaching something, actually putting something into action, you learn better. You'll be amazed what comes out of your mouth, and you're like, wow, I didn't even know I knew that. So I think this is saying be open. Don't be judgmental. Kind of let yourself be open and explore. Try different things. Be open. But notice this person is super serene, just kind of hanging out, you know? Happy. Very happy person. The hair is flowing again, so that flow is still there with you. There's lush abundance around her. So I think this overall is saying you're going to be okay, but listen to yourself and always learn, and always be willing to give your knowledge to other people and to share it. So if your idea has anything to do with sharing what you know, what you're learning about, then please do. If it doesn't, I think it's mainly saying to be open to your intuition, to stay open and always learn. Always learn and be willing to teach others what you know. Okay? So those are your cards, which I think are very beautiful. I think you are transcending your pain very shortly. So those are your cards. I'm going to place them right up here. Hope that helped you gain some clarity already. We're also going to use our bag of runes to gain even more clarity. Once again, you can ask the same question or you can ask multiple questions, the same questions maybe you asked before, or different questions. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to shake these up. I'm going to open them. I'll open the bag. I'm going to wiggle them around. And I'm going to grab what comes out. Okay. We have this one, which looks like a little pointed P. That is your rune. And like I told you before, I am going to use the book on this one. So it says, let's see, P is number 12, so that's page 115. 115. Oh, here we are. This is Rune, which is joy and light. How beautiful. Now let me look at it really quickly. Okay. So, this was telling us that the book, this is joy. So, it's saying, just like your card said, it's saying that you need to get rid of those old ideas that you were holding on to before and allow yourself to be open to new ideas, to happiness, and you will receive abundance and blessings in your current path. So if you follow the path you're following now, with staying open, being willing to learn and teach and speak and do, you're gonna get that second pentacle, okay? You're gonna get that higher pentacle, and it's gonna make you so happy. Now, bear in mind, happiness shouldn't depend solely on what we achieve, what we get out of something, and the end result of something. However, in this case, the result is going to really make you happy. And I feel like you're going to enjoy the process more than you expected to. I feel like it might be one of those things where you're going through and it might be a little difficult, but when you look back, you're going to be like, wow, that was kind of fun. I think you're going to have a lot of joy out of this. There's going to be a lot of light, like we saw with the spiritual teacher, probably that you bring to others too. Probably going to bring others a lot of joy as well. That's very beautiful. Thank you, Rune. So I'm going to stick that back. Okay. We're going to stick that over there. Thank you. Now, we are going, let me see where I want to start here. I think we'll start with these. So, these are actually cards that have pictures of peace grids on them. Now, a peace grid, these peace grids were created by a man named William Lee Rand. He is the founder of the International Center for Reiki Training. He's also a Reiki practitioner and teacher, master teacher, and he does some other things as well. But one of the projects he gave himself that he felt guided to do was to create peace grids. Now, he puts symbols for different religions and faiths, even for those who have no religion or faith in a higher being at all. He put them around this lotus-looking shape. He charged it with Reiki energy and then stuck it in different locations, 4 different locations around the world. And he took a picture of each, and he asks that people give Reiki maybe to the pictures, send distance Reiki to the actual peace grids, asking for peace on earth for all peoples, for asking for the willingness to be open, non-judgmental with everybody, essentially, to be peaceful. So he has different style grids. They're all pretty much the same type of grid. They all have the same intention, but they're located in different places. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle them, and I want you to pick one. Okay, so I'm gonna take them off screen. I'm gonna assign them numbers. So I'm gonna shuffle, and then I'm gonna place them down. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 4, and I'm gonna pick whichever one's in that order, okay? From left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. What number would you like? 3? Okay. 3 is actually the one we saw in the beginning, in the front. This piece grid is located in the South Pole. Now, the reason I had you pick this was because I wanted to know which direction, which cardinal direction, whether north, south, east, or west, would assist you the best, that you need to focus on, maybe that energy that you need to focus on. The element that's associated with the south is fire, and fire energy is a very active energy. It's impulsive, it's very passionate and creative. It's a get things done type of energy. So I think whatever idea you let go of, and the ideas that you're willing to follow now, that you're willing to go with the flow, need to be put into action. Now, bear in mind, fire can also be destructive, so you don't want to be so impulsive that or get yourself wrapped up in negative emotions, especially anger, and destroy what you built, right? We want to get to that higher pentacle state. So I think the way you're going is the right way to go, but I think this is telling you, stop being in the realm of thought so much, because you need to put in some fire, some action. You need to take tangible steps towards your goal, and you will get to the earth energy. You will get to that abundance and that stability and what you want. Okay, so that's just a nice reminder for you to put your thoughts into action, to make them come true in the material world. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take advice from John Steinbeck. So what I'm going to do, since words have a lot of power in them, especially would say in books, because the authors tend to put so much thought into which words they select, and yet they put it into action and put those words down on paper for us to read and enjoy and learn from. So, I kind of picked this book randomly for us. So we're not really focused on the story here, we're focused on which page you choose, possibly, as well as the words that we select. So what I'm going to do is I want you to select a page. So I want you to tell me to stop when you feel I should stop. Okay, I will stop on that page for you. Just tell me when to stop when you're ready, okay? Whenever it feels right for you. Right here. Okay. Which page calls out to you, left or right? left? Okay. So you chose page 584. Now I'm going to run my fingers down the page. And I want you to tell me when to stop, okay? Ready? Tell me when to stop. Take your time. Okay. We stopped at this line right here. And it says, yes, he will. And the best looking soldier in the army. And are we going for the azaleas? So, I think in the context of everything we talked about so far with the cards, with the pendulum, I think this is saying is yes, he will. So yes, you will. Just like the pendulum said in the beginning, yes to whatever thought that wasn't that thought you were holding on to before that broke. The hit where you hit rock bottom. This is the right thought. This is yes, you will achieve that second pentacle. You're gonna get it. And the best looking soldier in the army. So I feel like even though you went through that rock bottom stage, you went through such a hard time, you are gonna come out looking good, okay? You're gonna feel really good. So although you had to fight hard for this, it's going to be worth it. And others are gonna notice too, right? If you're good looking, someone's gonna notice. When are we going for the azaleas? So I think just like I was focusing on the flowers in one of the cards and talking about your heart chakra and opening up your heart and being more willing to follow your intuition, I think it's saying once you reach that achievement, don't stop. Keep going for the azaleas, okay? Keep striving for improvement. Keep learning, right? Like we learned before. I think that's what that's saying. I also think there's a number 4 here, so I almost feel like you're gonna have help with this. You're not alone, okay? You have a team who's helping you. It could be physical people who come into your life, not real people, physical people who come into your life to help you with whatever it is that you need to be helped with. Also, 4 is a very harmonious number, a square. It's very stable. It's balanced and even. So I think you're going to be balanced, and once you're balanced, yes, you will achieve what you want. People are going to notice. You're going to notice. You're going to feel good after all that beating that you took before. And you're going to keep going. You're going to keep learning. You're going to keep striving. You're going to keep going for bigger and better each time. You're going to feel so empowered by the end of this. And just so you know, 584, when you add all those numbers up, it equals 17. When you add 7 plus 1, in numerology, you would make everything a single digit. When you add that together, it equals 8. Now, the number 8 is usually a difficult number. Number 8 is the number of Scorpio. It's the number of kind of going through some type of transformation, something difficult. So that rock bottom happened, right? But I think you're going to get help. You are getting help from the divine, from other people, and you will ultimately achieve your goal. Okay? I think this is a beautiful confirmation of that. So thank you, John Steinbeck. Alright, beautiful. That is beautiful. Now the next thing we're going to do, because it was saying that you're getting help, right? I think this might actually give us some insight with that. But also this could be insight for anything. So these are, like I said before, they're a bunch of super random. They're a bunch of random letters. They have some signs in it, like the dollar sign, you know. It has some punctuation. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up. And we're going to select a few for you. This is similar to selecting charms, where you would pull out different things and they tell you different information based on whatever you select. Okay. So tell me when I'm done shuffling. where would you like me to pick up? Okay, right there. Okay. And so we have 3 items here. We have an H. We have a Q. We have an ampersand, so an and sign, and symbol. Now, to me, this could mean anything. Maybe these mean something to you. Maybe you wanted to make a business or something like that, and maybe these letters mean something to you. Maybe you're going to use this. Maybe you're going to have someone help you with it. You're going to have a partner with what you're doing. Whatever it is, it might mean something to you, so feel free in your head or out loud, whatever you want, to figure out what these mean for you. However, for me, what stuck out right away was the HQ. To me, that means headquarters. So I think you're going to be a boss. And that doesn't mean literally you are going to be a boss. You could be. Maybe you want to start your own business, or you're going to move up in your own work, where you work now in your career. Or you're going to do really well with your family life, whatever it is. I think it means you are the boss. You're just amazing. And you're going to get ahead of where you were. I think you're in a good place. And that's what that's saying. And I think the and is to show you that it's not over. So you're going to be a boss, but it's not over. And there's more. That's kind of what I get out of this. So HQ, and there's more. It could also mean, I was also thinking that it means that someone's going to help you. So there's going to be an and for you. Someone is going to help you with this. Your bossitude is going to attract someone who's going to help you, and or somebody is going to help you be a boss too. Okay. So thank you, letters. We're going to put those back. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to pull out some advice. Okay? So it's all well and good to hear, oh, good things are coming. That's great, which is great. Honestly, it's better. It's probably better to hear that than not. However, it's hard to know where to go sometimes, especially if you're looking for advice. So we're going to hope that some of these messages will give you clarity. Okay, so next steps. So I'm going to shuffle these. You tell me when to stop. Okay, stop. This. Oh, we have several. We're going to take them all. Alright, we have 3 and they're kind of all together. Let's start with this one. I'm going to open it. Now all of these are songs, okay? They're names of songs by certain artists, and they're going to give us some insight, okay? This is I Want to Break Free by Queen. Now, I think this is perfect for the past that we were talking about. I think, and also the present, I think you're just ready for things to get better. You're ready to strike out on your own, which doesn't mean that you're alone when you strike it on your own. It just means you start by yourself, but like we saw with that ampersand, the and, somebody could definitely help you, so please do accept help when it comes. But I think you're ready to break free, maybe from conventions or from other people's expectations of you. You're ready to just strike out on your own and figure this out. That is beautiful. Next, we have Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, or CR. So Fortunate Son, I don't know if you know some of these songs, but Fortunate Son is about, essentially, he says, it ain't me, I ain't no senator's son. You know, he says essentially that he isn't privileged enough, rich enough to not be called to war. So I think this is saying that you have a little bit of doubt still in you that you're not fortunate enough to get that second pentacle, which I disagree with. I think out of everything here, it's been telling you that you are going to do it. You can do it. You can do it. So I think this is telling you to shift your mindset to be, hey, I am the fortunate son. Okay, I can do this. I have luck on my side. I have people helping me. I have spirit helping, whatever you believe, assisting me in achieving whatever it is I need to achieve in this world, and then I will just achieve material, spiritual, emotional, familial success with whatever I do. So I think this is telling you shift your mindset. So I can give you some examples. Maybe you can try practicing gratitude. So for example, you can just literally look at something and just smile at it. Like, wow, these are words. These are letters of the alphabet that make words, and I can read them. I am literate. What a blessing, right? I'm a fortunate son. Something like that. And just letting yourself be happy and know that you are fortunate, that just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're never going to do well, because you will. All the cards and all of the divination has been telling you so. So please believe it in yourself. You can do it. It's kind of like that spiritual card, that spiritual teacher card. I think it was also saying, so let me pull that out. I think it was also telling you, know that you are the master, that you do have the knowledge, the wisdom, right? See, it's all around her. You have the knowledge and the wisdom and the resources to get where you need to go. You are a fortunate son. You are going to be okay. The war is over, okay? In regards to this situation, you are going to get on the other side of this. You are a fortunate son, so please keep yourself positive. Know that you are going to succeed with whatever it is that you're planning on doing. You going with the flow, you are going to succeed with it. Okay, just please keep a positive mindset. Like I said before, you could delay that second pentacle coming if you're in a negative, oh no, it's never going to be me kind of mindset. It is going to be you. It is. But please believe that it's going to be you, and it will be you. Okay. So that's fortunate son. And our last one is, that's funny, it's Soak Up the Sun by Sheryl Crow. Now in this song, it's a very upbeat, fun song. So she's pretty much saying that she's gonna soak up the sun, she's gonna enjoy life, she's positive, she's always looking up, she's always thinking positively, kind of like fortunate son. So she is allowing herself to feel all the goodness that life has to offer her. Okay? So I think you need to think positive, right? So I think you should break free from those mental constraints, those limiting thoughts and beliefs about yourself being an unfortunate son. And you need to know that you're a fortunate son and soak up all of the goodness that's coming your way. Okay? So focus on breaking free from limiting beliefs, on breaking free from all the pain that happened to you before, that idea you were holding on to. Let it go. Know that you are fortunate and enjoy it. Don't feel that you can't enjoy your successes, that you can't take a moment and be like, wow, that was nice, and just smile about it, be happy about it. Your successes are there to be enjoyed. Other people's successes, whatever they go through, they're to be enjoyed. The things, the little things in life, the big things in life, they're there for you to experience them, so enjoy them. She even mentions in the song that this person she's talking about is such a negative person. She's always so positive and looking up and soaking up the sun, enjoying life, and this other person's just so negative, and she's like, maybe there's something wrong with you. So it's not necessarily that there's something wrong with you, but it's something wrong with the way you're thinking. It's something wrong with the way you're putting yourself down, thinking you're not a fortunate son, okay? So you have to get the positivity going on, soaking up the sun, enjoying what's going on. It's so easy to miss the good things in life, and that's sad. We don't need to miss the good things in life, okay? So please, let it go. Enjoy. Know that you are fortunate. That you're a very gifted person, like that spiritual teacher card. You're gifted. You can do it. Okay? You're a fortunate son, right? War's over. Soak up the sun. Enjoy life. Okay? So those are your 3 songs to keep in mind. They also might be nice to listen to remind you, especially the Soak Up the Sun one. Alright, now, like I said before, we're going to dump these out and we're going to replace them with these instead, okay? So we're going to thank things for being here, and we're going to replace them with these cards instead. These cards do not contain songs. They actually contain different quotations from some famous people. So, they are famous quotes. I know grammatically you're not supposed to say quotes, they're quotations, but we're going to call them quotes for short. So I'm going to shuffle them around to the best of my ability. We're going to shake them up. Oh, one popped out. That's for you. And would you like me to select any? This one? Okay. Yeah. Can do that. Alright, so this one needed you. Okay, this one wants you to hear it. So we're going to open this one and see what it says. Have no fear of perfection. You'll never reach it. By Salvador Dali, who is an artist. So I think this goes well with the songs. I think it's telling you part of your limiting beliefs is your perfectionism and your fear. So if you stop, and here's the thing, we don't want to stop emotions, right? We want them to flow. So instead of freezing and stopping yourself from moving forward based on fear and striving for perfection, I think it's really, you gotta soak up the sun, just enjoy the process as you go. That's easier said than done, but I think if you strive for that, you will get that second pentacle very soon, okay? So please, don't bother with perfection because it ain't happening. Per Salvador Dali. But I think this was so important for you to hear. It jumped out of the hat. So please, work on your perfectionism. Get rid of that. Break free from perfectionism. Break free from perfectionism. Know that you are fortunate. Soak up every moment. Okay? And now let's look at the one that you selected. Okay? Let's see what this one says. We read to know that we are not alone. C.S. Lewis, who was a writer. We read to know that we are not alone. I think with that ampersand, the and sign that you got, and the fact that divinity is helping you, the birds, just the fact that you're being helped, I think this is showing you that even if you feel like you're alone, you're not. You're not. And it's not one of those things where, oh, you're not alone physically, like there's people around you. You're gonna find people that really get you, because when you read something, when you realize you're not alone, it hits the soul. It goes soul level, soul deep. These are people who are like-minded, who are going to help you move forward with what you're working on, okay? So once you stop with that fear and that perfectionism and you kind of work through it, you're going to attract people who are going to help you. But I think when it says we read to know that we are not alone, you have to look at the situation, figure out who is good for you and who's not. But at the same time, I think it's more saying pay attention. Pay attention to to the people who show up in your life, because they just may help you with what you're doing. I feel like those people are going to help you, but I think it's one of those things where you kind of have to consciously do it yourself. You have to consciously go for it. So we have that action-oriented piece again, like the fire energy that we caught on before. You have to start doing the actions, trying. So sometimes when we read, right, we're not consciously thinking, oh, I want people to understand me. But deep down, subconsciously, yeah, we probably are thinking that. So I think if you follow your intuition where the guidance is taking you, and you consciously make actions and consciously make yourself more positive, bring in more that enjoying what's going on, you're going to attract those who think like you, who are very much like you, very much vibe with them, they vibe with you, you understand each other on a deep level. Now, that could mean maybe if your inquiry is about a romantic partner, you could be getting someone who's like this. Maybe you actually do enjoy reading as well. Maybe that person's a writer or a teacher, right? Like a spiritual teacher. And you're going to meet this person that way. Maybe when you're learning, you're going to vibe with your teacher, something like that. But it can also mean just anyone who's on the same wavelength as you, who wants to break these limiting beliefs, who wants to move forward in life and try new things and experience soul level connection. So I think you're going to get really good friends out of this. Like I said before, you might be getting a romantic partner if that's what you're asking about. Somebody, at least someone, but I think multiple people. But there's somebody sticking in my mind, like in particular, who's coming to mind. So I think there's a very stable person coming in for you who's so much like you, and you guys just think so much alike, and you're gonna get so much benefit from being with this person and moving forward with this person. Okay, so there may be multiple people helping you, but there's definitely been a special someone who is going to assist you. I hope they help you. I only feel this a little bit. I feel like the messages I gave you before, the message that we derived from these messages, is more what's going on. But I think there's a little bit of this where don't expect the people and or person who comes into your life who's going to help you to be perfect, and don't fear that they're not going to help you. I think that's part of it, and I think you need to look to enjoy time with them and not expect too much, because I think, kind of like with a reading, you always have to be a little bit detached from what I'm saying, because you know the answer, right? I'm just trying to help with clarity here and help you get to the message based on what you need to hear right now. However, sometimes we overthink it, we get overeager, right? We're like, oh, we're gonna get good things, okay. And then you meet this person and you expect the world of them. I don't want you to project any of your fears, any of your ideas of perfection onto this person. I think this person's going to be perfect for you anyway, and is going to help you achieve your goals. I think you should just enjoy your time with them. They're going to help you. Okay? Just try not to project anything on them that'll make you get into a negative state of mind and not think that you're not going to get what you want, kind of thing, okay? So those are beautiful messages for you. Now, I'm so excited for you. You went through so much, and you're going to get so much good. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Before we leave, though, before you leave, I would like to give you a gift. Now, of course, this is virtual, so I can't physically give you that gift right now, but I'm going to mail it to you because you filled out that intake form with all your information when you booked the session, so I'm going to mail it to you. But you are going to select your gift. Okay? So I'm going to place this here. So we have a little baggie that your gift is going to go in. I want you to pick a number, either 1, 2, or 3. And based on that, whichever fold your gift is in is the gift I'm going to send to you, to your home, okay? Because I do appreciate your time. Are you ready? Did you pick a number? You want 1. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to open this. It's 1, 2, and 3. So number 1 is right here. So this is your gift. This is an evil eye talisman. Now don't let that scare you. It's just a form of protection, which honestly works really well because you're going on a journey, you're figuring things out, you're meeting new people, you're branching out, which is beautiful. But unfortunately, there are people who don't always have your best intentions in mind, and this can keep you safe. So maybe you can stick this over your bed while you're sleeping, or you can stick this on a wall somewhere. You can carry it in your pocket with you. You can carry it in a purse or a backpack, whatever you have. So this is your gift. Evil Eye Talisman to protect you. I'm going to stick it in this bag for you, and they match colors. Look at that. It has blue to help you with your communication. And the bag is blue for communication as well, so I'm going to stick that in there. That's your gift. I'm going to mail it out. Yeah. Yes, I'll show you the other 2 gifts that you could have had, okay? But I think this is a good gift for you because it's scary to try new things. It really is. It's scary to go in a new direction, but I'm proud of you for being brave, and I'm glad you picked the gift that I think is really going to help you with it, with your goals. It's going to keep you safe, okay? So I'm going to mail that out to you later, right? I will show you the other 2 gifts. So, the other 2 gifts are this little turtle, and this little turtle is a lucky turtle. This always reminds me of the tortoise and the hare. It's like, slow and steady wins the race. We always kind of fixate on the slow part. Oh man, it's gonna be slow. But the key word is steady. Keep moving forward. No matter how slow it is, you will still be moving forward if you're consistent, if you're steady, if you're faithful to your goal. So that's what this little guy teaches. And the last gift is frankincense essential oil. This is more for grounding. It's also, frankincense is one of the gifts if you believe in Jesus. When he was a baby, the 3 wise men came to visit him, and he was given gifts of frankincense, gold, and myrrh. And frankincense being one of the gifts, it's like saying, this is a holy oil. It's almost like reminding you of your own divinity, your own royalty within, essentially. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I am so excited for you. I'm so happy that you trusted me with helping you gain clarity. I'm so grateful to my guides, to your guides, to all of these beautiful divination tools, for our own intuition, for helping us throughout this session today. I'm excited for you meeting your person, whoever it is who's going to help you. I'm excited for you moving forward, becoming more positive, and enjoying your life as it comes. And as you enjoy your life, you're gonna get that abundance. And I'm so happy for you. So, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna send you your gifts, okay? So no worries. No worries at all. No fear. No worries. You are a fortunate son. Do you have any questions for me at all? No, you're good. Okay. I know, that was a lot. But honestly, all good things, so I'm proud of you. It's hard to go through hard times, but the best is yet to come, right? So thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your